These are the 8 proven methods that separate people who pick perfect watermelons from people who bring home a flavorless, watery disappointment. And here's the thing most people don't realize. Watermelons don't ripen after they're picked. Unlike bananas or avocados, the moment a watermelon leaves the vine, that's it. Whatever sweetness it has is all it's ever going to have. So your ability to choose the right one at the store is literally the only thing standing between you and a great watermelon. Let's make sure you never get it wrong again. First, let's talk about how sweetness actually works. Watermelon sweetness is measured on something called the Brix scale, which quantifies sugar content. A score of 10 is standard. Anything between 11 and 12 is considered very sweet. The best varieties, like Charleston Gray, can hit a Brix of 13. What drives that number up is heat. Watermelons are heat-loving plants that need long stretches of high temperatures to convert starches into sugars. The final weeks of ripening are critical. That's when Brix levels either peak or plateau. So how do you find those peak ripeness melons sitting in a grocery store pile? Let's go through each method, starting with the single most reliable indicator. Method 1, the field spot. Flip the watermelon over. You'll see a discolored patch where the fruit sat on the ground while growing. This is the field spot, and its color tells you almost everything. A white or very pale spot means the melon was harvested too early. Light yellow means barely ripe with moderate sweetness, but a deep butter yellow or orange spot, that signals peak ripeness and maximum sugar content. Gardening expert Tammy Sons puts it simply, field spots deeper in color, like orange and yellow, mean the watermelon has been ripening for a good amount of time and is full of sweet, juicy flavor. White field spots signal minimal taste. This is the one method you should never skip. Method 2, the thump test. Pick the watermelon up and hold it in your arms. Give it a solid knock with your knuckles. You're listening for a deep, hollow sound, similar to knocking on a door. A high-pitched sound means unripe. A dull thud means overripe, possibly mushy inside. You want that resonant, deep tone right in the middle. And this isn't just folklore. Testing has confirmed that pitch matters the most when selecting ripe watermelons. All deep-sounding watermelons tasted great. Now this method does take some practice. Your ear has to learn the difference, so use it alongside the other indicators, not as your only tool. Method 3, the weight test. Pick up a few watermelons of similar size and go with the heaviest one. A ripe watermelon is 92% water, so more weight means more water content, which means juicier fruit. This applies to pretty much all produce, but is especially important with watermelon. Method 4, look at the skin finish. A ripe watermelon develops a dull, matte surface. Run your hand across it. It should feel slightly rough, not slick or glossy. Shiny skin indicates the melon was picked before its protective coating fully matured. Dull equals ripe. Shiny equals too early. Method 5, sugar spots and webbing. This is where a lot of people make mistakes. Those rough, brown, scar-like marks on the rind, they are not damage, they are not rot, they are called sugar spots or webbing, and they form as a direct result of pollination. When bees visit the watermelon flower heavily, the resulting fruit develops these web-like scars. A 2020 study published in Ecology and Evolution confirmed that watermelons receiving extra pollination contain more sugar. Now, one important caveat from Tammy Sons, webbing can mean a melon had good pollination, which is a good sign, but it is not a guarantee the melon is sweet. Think of it as a bonus indicator, not a standalone test. Method 6, check the stem. If the stem is still visible, look at its color and condition. A dried, brown, small stem usually means the watermelon sat on the vine longer before harvesting. A green, thick stem suggests it was picked too soon. Method 7, uniform shape. Whether round or oval, you want consistency. Irregular bumps or a lopsided shape usually mean the melon got inconsistent sun water, or most commonly, incomplete pollination. According to the University of Delaware, a watermelon flower needs between 500 and 1,000 grains of pollen to develop properly, requiring at least 8 visits from bees. When that does not happen, some areas of the fruit do not expand properly, creating asymmetry. Uniform shape means even development and better flavor. Method 8, the 2-finger stripe test. This one is lesser known, but worth trying. Look at the dark green stripes on the rind. If the width of a dark stripe is at least as thick as your index and middle finger held together, that is a sign of a well-ripened watermelon. Now let us address the myth you have probably seen on social media, the idea that round watermelons are female and sweeter, while elongated ones are male. This has zero basis in botanical science. A watermelon's shape is determined by its variety and pollination quality, not gender. Watermelons do not have genders. Shape has nothing to do with sugar content. Here is another debate worth settling: seeded versus seedless. A study in the Journal of the American Society for Horticultural Science found that seeded watermelons average 11.2 to 12.1 Brix, while seedless varieties typically score 9.5 to 10.8. That is a measurable difference, but today, seedless varieties account for roughly 90% of watermelons sold in U.S. grocery stores. Some experts, like Todd Weiner from NC State, say the perceived flavor difference is nostalgia, pure and simple. Others point to the science. Either way, if you want to maximize your odds of sweetness, seeded varieties do have a statistical edge. Once you have picked your perfect melon, storage matters. A whole watermelon keeps 7 to 10 days at room temperature, ideally between 50 and 59 degrees Fahrenheit. But here is something most people do not know. Storing a whole watermelon below 32 degrees for more than 2 days actually causes it to develop off flavors and lose color. Once cut, store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator. Glass containers work best, keeping wedges crisp and juicy for up to 8 days. And use a sealed container because watermelon has a porous texture that absorbs refrigerator odors fast. So to bring it all together, here is your checklist: deep yellow or orange field spot, deep hollow sound when tapped, heavy for its size, dull matte skin, uniform shape, dried brown stem, and if you see webbing, even better. Tammy Sons sums up the winning combination perfectly. Couple the field spot with a hollow deep sound when tapped and heavy weight for the size, and you have a good bet. Humans have been eating watermelons for at least 5,000 years. Seeds have been found at ancient Libyan settlements. There are now over 1,000 varieties grown worldwide, and yet most people still just grab one at random and hope for the best. You don't have to do that anymore. Use these methods and you will pick a sweet watermelon every single time.